welcoming David.
Hi, good morning. Hope that you guys are having a good day. Special shout out to those who are taking the AP. Hope that they're doing good, and that for those of you guys who are not having such a good day, that the day gets better. Today I want to share with you guys a story called The Transformation of a Butterfly. April 28, 1994. A baby was born. Right out the womb, this baby opens his eyes to see his mother looking at him for the first time. Now, this mother, blessed with a healthy child, looks at her son and says, "This child will do great things for my family." Now, who in that room would have dared to say that no, that child was born evil? Or who would have dared to say, oh, that child is a sinner? No. You see, that child was born with choice. He inherited free will. That means his heart will only do what it desires to do, whether it desires to do good or whether it desires to do bad. Now, the fact that within this child there is good and there is bad will start an internal war, a war within his heart, a war that he must fight to gain peace. Now, this child is me, David Esteban Berroa. Sounds good, doesn't it? Now, for those of you guys who don't know me really well, I moved a lot in my life. I was born in Bronx, New York, quickly moved to the Dominican Republic, then Lawrence, and now Lowell. I remember when I first got to Lawrence, and I looked around and I said, America. Wait a minute, espera, Hispanic, a whole industry, Hispanic bodega. Did I even leave DR? Hey, y'all look the same to me. Just a little bit colder. But as you can see, I was very comfortable where I went to school, the kids in my neighborhood, the people, and the city as a whole. But I guess you can say I grew too comfortable. And I thought that Lawrence was all there was, or all that my life ever offered me. My friends and my family, mostly Joel, could agree that growing up, I was like a chihuahua. I thought I was bigger physically and mentally than what I really was, and that caused a lot of problems. I remember I always wanted to be older. I always wanted to know everything, or anything that I could have known. I wanted to be with the older kids, and I pretty much wanted to be the top dog. I wanted to be the man. But you see, that ambition was only the beginning to the war inside my heart. I remember it was only in the 6th grade when I was first exposed to drugs like marijuana, to influences of liquor. And I still remember that day when people in the neighborhood would say, "Hey, little man, come over here. Here, take this. Go give it to that man over there. He's going to give you some money. Come around back and I'll give you some too." Wait a minute, D. Come on, D. Didn't your parents teach you better? Yeah, they did. But didn't you know not to talk to strangers? Come on, man. How am I supposed to ever meet new people saying things like that? Nah, but you see, I remember the paranoia that started when I was young. Had to flush things down the toilet. Oh, make sure my mom don't see this. I remember having to spill things in my backyard. Oh, smells. Oh, gotta act like everybody in the neighborhood was cool with me so my mom doesn't get all paranoid and think that her son's out hooligans all the time. But you see, even that wasn't even the biggest dilemma I had. The biggest dilemma I was having was that I had to go to church every morning. I had to walk through church doors every Sunday morning. And there's only 2 ways a man can ever enter those doors. He either enters those doors full of worship, full of love, ready to come together with community and diversity, and the list can go on. Or he can enter those doors full of hypocrisy. That's all religion can do for you. It either makes you a more genuine person, or it can make you a more hypocritical person. And as you can see, at this time in my life, this is making me a more hypocritical person in all aspects. And it wasn't even until the 8th grade, for some of my frost girls who are in this school, or right now, they know the principal. And at the end of the year, she'll gather us up, see what high schools we want to go to, and then she'll reflect on it. I remember she clearly looked at my list and said, "David, are you joking? No. You think you could really get into these schools? Why not? Well, your attitude lately and the friends you hang around with are no good for you. Do you really think you could really do this? Oh man, you don't know how the anger that came out. Oh, I'm pretty sure anybody here knows what I would have wanted to do to that teacher. Respectively, but you have to understand." Now this anger brought me the greatest question of my life. The greatest question of my time came after that moment. It's not black or white, east or west, gay or straight. The greatest question I ever had was, can I really live without God? Because if I can, how am I going to handle situations like that? When someone steps on me, where do I get the patience to not step on them? When I'm hungry, when do I get the patience to not be selfish or greedy? But you see, I've known that it took more faith out of me to live without him than to live with him. And I had to stop being a hypocrite and stop choosing things that I know was going to lead to my destruction, or at least within my heart, at least. I still remember those days. And I have to say that I chose God. I chose God. You see, because with those simple words of saying, "God, please interfere with my life because I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. Oh, Lord. I can't do it." With those simple words, I was transformed. Just like a caterpillar transformed into a butterfly. He is no longer the same creation. Miraculously, he's a whole different creation. It doesn't function the same. Now, I know a butterfly, that sounds kind of corny, but just hang with me. It's beautiful. Those simple words changed my motivation. Those simple words changed my attitude. And it took me out of religion, which was me trying to perform around people to save God's image, but now people seeing God saving me. It's a little wordy, but I hope you guys can understand. I don't walk around doing the things I do for attention. I don't walk around so people can see that, oh, David was a morally good person. People will be like, David, no. You see, I do what I do because of what he did for me 2,000 years ago. Went upon the cross and took my sins away. In other words, he took the bullet for me. How do you dare to say your life is yours if a man takes a bullet for you? You forever acknowledge his grace. He stepped in and took his life for you. I cannot live the same. I forever honor that person. Forever. My life is not my own. Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 says it all. I'm going to lean to his understanding and not mine. Now, to be a Christian is not saying I'm morally better than you, or I'm better than you in the way I act, or I think I have the all total truth. Hey, it's not how I'm going to function. Being a Christian, I am honored in my failure. I am saved. It does not mean I'm perfect, but I am forgiven, and I accept that. That's all it is. I hope that in this time that I've been here, in the past 3 years, I hope that you guys could forgive me if I've ever been exclusive, if I ever seemed like I was an unapproachable person from what I believe in. But I hope that Brooks' sophistication and your inclusiveness could include my exclusiveness. Because if you don't, then I guess we're no different from one another, and we'll probably just sit at different tables. I'm not here to knock anybody's religion, but I opened up my eyes and I made a wise decision. You see, when I talked to God, none of my breath was lost, so I kept talking. When I walk with God, none of my strength is lost, so I kept walking. You see, when I wait with God, none of my time is lost, so I keep waiting. Hey, man, people gonna find reasons to hate on you and me, but you have to tell them no love is lost. Keep hating. There's something to live for. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.